My next guest is the 6th ranked heavyweight in the United States by Tapology, and you can catch his next fight on January 20th, where he'll be fighting at Paradigm Combat Sports 4 in Houston, Texas. Rakim, I appreciate you being on the show again. Thank you for doing this. I really enjoyed our last interview, and I'm glad that we can link up in 2024.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you inviting me. I always have a good time talking about the fight game and just dropping knowledge and splitting good conversation with people.
Your last fight, Bellator 293, you spoiled the party, and we talked a little bit about that when you choked out Christian Edwards. I think Christian's a really exciting prospect still, and that was a tough win. You were a big underdog in that fight, but you ended up getting the job done. Are you a little surprised that you didn't end up getting another fight with Bellator after your submission victory over Edwards?
I mean, I am. We had good conversations, and my previous 2 fights, I took them both on short notice. So we thought we were in a position where, as long as we performed this last fight and came out with a win or even a good showing, we'd get another opportunity. But things didn't shake out that way. But on the flip side, like you said, I came out with a strong win against a good opponent, a good up and coming opponent, and previously top 10 ranked for the Bellator organization. So hopefully to keep that momentum going.
Since you last competed in the Bellator cage, obviously there's been a lot of change with the promotion. They've since merged with PFL, so I'll call it PFLator for right now, because it still seems like there's a good chunk of that Bellator roster that is going to be involved with the PFL. They're going to blend it into something that we're still not quite sure of what it looks like in 2024. But my question to you, the merger between PFL and Bellator, you've competed for both of these guys in the past. Like, what's your opinion on this marriage between the two, and is it good for mixed martial arts in your opinion?
Man, I honestly think it's huge. In my opinion, some people say I'm crazy for saying it, but when you take 2 of the top 4, top 5 organizations and you merge them, it becomes another power. PFL has been surging and growing, and Bellator was already there, kind of on the low, but it's there, and it has very, very talented guys. And you take that, you combine it into one, it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I look forward to see how they run things, if they're going to have regular cards and integrate the season aspect, kind of like Bellator kind of did the tournaments for the divisions throughout the cards, or are they still going to have to try to run seasons? Or it's interesting to see how things are going to fold out.
And Mr. Cleveland, is that something that you would consider maybe down the road if there was like an opportunity to get back with the PFL / Bellator, whichever brand? It's like like Raw and SmackDown or whatever they got going on over there. Is that something that you would consider returning to if they made you an offer?
Definitely. I had a quick opportunity to step in and join the tournament after the Edwards fight, but I wasn't going to get medically cleared because I had stitches in my eye and whatnot, so I had to pass on that. And hopefully, after this next fight, they show more interest and we can get something taken care of and get it done. I'd love to be back in the organization.
Since the Edwards fight, it's been roughly 9-10 months since you've last competed. And were you expecting to make your return to the cage a lot sooner compared to January 2024 post the Edwards fight?
I definitely was, man. It's not from lack of trying. The fight game is not the same no more. These guys are definitely picking and choosing which path they want to go, and the tough path is not a lot of folks' path they want to choose. They want to choose the easy fights, get some guaranteed wins, make their record look good, and hopefully get a shot at contender series. And the PFL has its series going on also, where the up and comers can get in and fight for a contract, and that's kind of what it is. It's getting hard for the vets to lock in fights, especially on a regional scene. Man, it's been no after no, and It's been driving me crazy, but I'm glad I finally got an opportunity to get back in the cage.
And that was definitely something I was going to ask you about. And as far as matchups go, I look at somebody with your experience, with your record, and you make it almost impossible to get a matchup against, right? Because if I'm a rival gym and I have like a 6-0 heavyweight, and they're like, "Yo, Rakim Cleveland, what do you think?" I'd be like, "No, like that guy has got way too many fights. That's just not something that I'm interested in." And is that something that you've kind of gotten used to? Like, people float your name out there, and then the other side's just saying, "Absolutely not. He's got way too much experience. We don't want any part of that."
Yeah, I mean, we've had people say they're looking for guys with more experience, and then they mention me, and they way too much. So it's kind of that thing. Even a couple times in Bellator, they were looking for guys to match up, and throw a couple guys out there. Oh, he don't want more experience. They want more experience. They throw me in there. Oh man, he has too much experience. We want to look something a little different than that. So, we were all surprised, even with the Christian Edwards fight. He jumped on that fight like I was just going to be a walk in the park. So that was kind of something that surprised us all, but it worked out for the best of us.
And I will say this about Christian Edwards. He took the fight and he looked at that and he reacted to it how I would want a fighter in my stable to react to it. Like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's go. He bet on himself. It didn't pay dividends for him, but he's only going to get better after fighting somebody like you with that amount of experience. And he took a chance on himself. And I think that's to be commended. Like, I think there are a lot of guys out there that wouldn't have the balls to make a move like that.
I mean, that's how it should be. That's how it used to be. Fighting used to be based on your talent. Whether you had an ugly record or pretty record, it was based on the guys that want to go out there, put up a fight, put on a show, and show skills. Now it's based on how many social media followers you got. Social media fans can't help you inside the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of those guys pretty much destroyed once they get to that level, just because they got a good following doesn't mean they're good. So I give kudos to Christian. Christian, he's fought his whole career in a bigger organization, and he's taken pretty much tough fights all the way through, even with his wins and losses. He has nowhere to go but up. So I'm just happy, he took the fight, and we got in there, we did our jobs, and put on the show, and I'm pretty sure I'll see him on the big card sometime in the future once he gets back in there.
Well, best of luck to him. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about Paradigm Combat Sports. This is a relatively new promotion. Yep. They put on a few different shows in the past. I first found out about them when Juan Adams fought with them not that long ago. That's just kind of how I found out about this promotion. Can you tell me a little bit, Paradigm Combat Sports, what made you say yes to these guys when they contacted you and asked you to fight for them?
Yeah, no, they contacted us and offered an opponent, which that's been the biggest hurdle these last 7, 8, 9 months is locking in an opponent. They came with us, they gave us an opponent. We liked the opponent, and we jumped on it. I think Graves is a good test for me, and he's also another guy that's been to different major organizations. He's fought for Bellator, he's fought for PFL. He's fought for ACA. So he's a guy that's been in there and he's had some competition. He's been through it. And I think we're going to put on a good card, a good show.
What did Juan do wrong when he fought Shelton? Shelton was I found out about Shelton and this promotion because of Juan. Juan, it didn't work out for him. Shelton ends up winning the fight. What did Juan do wrong, in your opinion?
Man, I watched that fight about 3 or 4 times, and he just didn't move. He kind of just walked straight forward. Just trying to initiate a grapple and grab situation instead of being agile, moving around and throwing more shots. He kind of kept grabbing, reaching out and grabbing at him, and Sheldon was able to close space and hit him with some key shots when he's going for those grabs. And it ended up wearing him out, getting him tired, leaning on him a little bit. And when he got him on the ground, that was tough. It's 2 big guys down there, and one's a huge guy. And that's a lot of weight to move when you're starting to get tired.
I think about you and I think of a few different things. I think of striking off the bat, but then I also think of like clinch work. And I also think of getting work in when the opponent's back's to the cage, tiring them out, and then choking them out, or framing off and just punishing them more with strikes. I've seen you do all sorts of things over the years. And like when you think about like your clinch game in particular, like Muay Thai against somebody like this, is that like a significant advantage over somebody like Graves? Is like your technicality and the different things that you can do in the striking department and in the clinch game?
I think stylistically, it kind of plays into my favor. He does kind of come wading in with big shots, and he will engage in the clinch situations, which, like you said, I'm strong at and I'm comfortable in. So I think I look forward to it, and it's been a long time, really, since my amateur days, since I fought inside of a kind of a pride style ring, and not a cage. So that also plays a difference in the grappling aspect. Can't lean on the fence and use the fence to hold somebody up or bounce them off the fence and for the takedown. So stylistically, I think this is a fight that is kind of tailored to my skill set, and man, I look forward to it.
Well, for everyone that's buying a ticket, for people that are coming out to watch you perform, it's in Houston, right? And this is the very first time since 2011 that you have actually fought in Houston. You fought all over the Midwest. You fought in Iowa a bunch of times. You fought all over the world, and like you're fighting in Houston, and like that's got to be pretty special for you to like know after over a decade you're going to be fighting where you're from.
And that was a huge thing for me to lock this fight in, man. I know I got a lot of family and friends and people that always ask me, "Hey, when you fighting at home? Hey, when you fighting at home?" And my answer is, man, I don't know. I fight everywhere else but home. But here we go. This is it. I'm fighting at home 2 weeks from now. Everyone has been asking, you better be there, because you never know when it's going to happen again.
Well, absolutely. And one kind of final question for you. When puts you at 24 professional victories? And for somebody your age, you're still very young for a heavyweight, very young. And to have a record of that magnitude, that much experience, just what would that 24th professional victory mean for you at this stage in your career?
Man, that one's going to be special. It's going to be special because it's been a long road, a lot of fights. It's been my 41st professional fight, and I fought the who's who's. I fought a lot of big name guys, and just to go in there and lock in this 24th win in front of my home, that's going to be good. And nonetheless, this is a title fight, so. I get the opportunity to not only get a big win at home, but bring a title back home. He took that title back home to Maryland with him. He needs to be back in Houston.
And you get this win, you get a new link, and do you feel like it opens up even more doors potentially for you for as far as the rest of 2024 is concerned?
I hope so, but it could make it tougher. It could make it tougher, man. Like you said, it took me 7-8 months just to get this one. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it gives me an opportunity. This will be 2 in a row. This will be 2 names that's predominantly hot. He's coming off a win against a UFC vet, PFL vet. I'm coming off a win against a Bellator vet. If I go out there and I get a good performance and a good finish, hopefully my name starts buzzing again, and I get an opportunity to move up to where we get to the level where guys don't have a choice but to fight.
Well, sir, I do believe with a win over your opponent at Paradigm Combat Sports 4, you will achieve exactly that. And I would also reckon that you're going to have a pretty big opportunity next if you get the job done. So it's very exciting. That's definitely why I wanted to have you on the program. And I want to give you an opportunity. If there's anyone that you'd like to thank before I let you go, let's do it.
Yeah, man. So I've been doing a lot of different things and starting different things, and a big thing for me is helping out people who help me. Um, my sponsor list, I went way more local. Local businesses have been kind of the focus with sponsorships, and I just want to give them all a shout out for supporting me and me, giving me the opportunity to represent their companies and help their companies grow as they help me grow, and they back me going into this camp and with everything. So none the least, I would like to thank Trahan Turf. They just opened up a facility here in Dayton, a baseball facility. They're great. They're great with everything they do. Myers Chiropractic. Chiropractors are the backbone for a lot of athletes. Out the Mud is a buddy of mine. If you like four-wheeling and stuff like that, definitely check them out. Out the Mud, they're in Crosby, Texas. They're a good time. Jelly IT, IT company that does pretty much anything you need as far as building a website, security systems, anything IT, you name it, they can get it done for you. Doctor Appliance is a new company that does what it's kind of hard to find, fixed appliances, microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators, you name it. Any appliance you got at home, they can take care of it. So you don't have to go buy a brand new one when some people can't afford to get a brand new one. Firewife Jess Designs, of course, create all my gear and does all my walkout shirts, my fight shorts and everything, and much more. Definitely check her out with everything she does. Anything apparel wise you need it, even for you, let me know if you need some hoodies and stuff made, man. We'll get them done for you. And none but not least, this is not even a company or a business, but a legend himself, man. He just wanted to reach out and help me out, and because he's been there, done that, and he knows how it is. And big shout out to the headhunter himself, Paul Bentello, for reaching out to me and backing me going into this deal. And appreciate you, brother. And Country Going Crazy. As a new sponsor, I actually just picked them up today. They're going to do my banner and everything for me. And, thank you guys for everything you're doing for me for this camp. And I look forward to representing you and your companies on the 20th and bringing home that title.
Well, Rakim, I really appreciate your time this evening, sir, and I wish you the absolute best of skill later on this month at Paradigm Combat Sports 4.